Welcome to the Right Way Sports Network YouTube channel. I'm Dash, and today I'm going to be talking about what the Atlanta Falcons will look like without Julio Jones. Now, you may have recently heard that Julio Jones wants out of Atlanta, and being a bottom 5 team and losing your best player usually means that your team is going to be pretty bad. But I'm going to tell you why that might not be true for the Falcons. Not only do they have pieces capable of greatness on their team right now, but whatever haul they come away with when they trade Julio Jones will also help them build their roster in the years to come. With a former MVP leading the way, a top 5 pick from this year's draft, and one of the best young deep threats in the NFL, their offense could still make a big splash this year despite losing one of the best wide receivers in the game. And as far as the defense goes, they have game wreckers on the defensive line and in the middle of the field at linebacker, as well as young stars getting ready to bloom. All this is capped off by the signing of new head coach Arthur Smith, who's looking to turn around this franchise sooner rather than later. Lining up at quarterback is longtime Falcon Matt Ryan. He was the 2016 NFL MVP and has totaled over 50,000 yards and nearly 350 touchdowns in his 13-year career. While Ryan hasn't been his MVP self as of late, the new head coach Arthur Smith could help change that. Smith was able to turn around Ryan Tannehill's career when he went to Tennessee, so why shouldn't we expect him to bring the MVP back out of Matty Ice? Matt Ryan is set up for success in the coming years with Smith, as they both can agree on one thing: their love for tight ends. Now, the Falcons have probably the best young tight end prospect ever, Kyle Pitts. He was drafted 4th overall, he's 6'6", and he runs a 40-yard dash in the 4.4s. Now, while tight ends traditionally take a while to transition into the NFL, that isn't something the Falcons will need to worry about with Pitts. He's arguably the best overall player from this year's draft, and you should think of him more like Mike Evans in terms of his skill set and the impact he'll have on the game. He's an absolute matchup nightmare who's much too fast and sharp with his routes to be guarded by linebackers, yet his size and ability to go up and get the ball makes him a brutal matchup for corners and safeties. He's someone opposing defensive coordinators will have to game plan against, which could open things up for the rest of his team. Now, last season, Matt Ryan threw the ball to tight end Hayden Hurst quite a bit. He had over 500 yards and 6 scores. But you look back to the seasons of 2018 and 2019 when Austin Hooper was the main tight end, and he had over 70 catches in both years. Now imagine Kyle Pitts with his 4.4 speed getting the ball 70 times. He could shatter every rookie receiving record for tight ends and be a front runner for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Pitts will join Calvin Ridley in a dangerous pass game. Now, over his first 3 seasons, wide receiver Calvin Ridley has seen steady improvement in targets, yards, and yards per reception. He's becoming one of the best deep threats in the league, and we should expect him to get even more looks as he's the true number 1 wide receiver with Julio Jones gone. However, another guy who we can't overlook is Olamide Zaccheaus. Now, Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts are going to draw almost all of the defensive attention for the Falcons, which could open the field up for one-on-one matchups for guys like Zaccheaus. He's going into his 3rd year and logged PFF grades of 68.6 and 71.5 in his first 2 seasons. And if we could see him keep that level of productivity at a higher volume, he could be a real sleeper for the Falcons this season. But going back to Calvin Ridley, he just has loads and loads of potential. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to take it all the way to the house. Now you pair that with Kyle Pitts and a quarterback who has MVP potential, that's a very scary offense. Now defensively, the Falcons returned 2 superstars in defensive tackle Grady Jarrett and linebacker Dion Jones. Grady Jarrett is a top-tier interior lineman who disrupts offenses as easily as he eats breakfast. He'll destroy opposing offensive lines all season long and haunt QB dreams. Dion Jones will be the leader of the defense, playing inside linebacker for the Falcons. He has elite range, and he can cover tons of ground on every play. He can blitz, stop the run, and cover passes at a very high level. Dion Jones has 5 touchdowns on defense in his career, more than Julio Jones had last season. And when Dion Jones plays at an elite level, his impact cannot be overstated. He makes plays left and right. Now, giving him some help is one of the biggest steals from day 3 of the 2020 draft. 4th round pick Michael Walker. He posted a PFF grade of 74 in his rookie season, which ranked 8th among 83 qualifying linebackers. In the same boat is last year's 1st round pick, AJ Tyrell. Tyrell is a star in the making. He posted the 2nd highest PFF grade among 1st round corners, and he looks like he'll be a player who's going to be very good at the cornerback position for a long time. Look for him to make a huge difference the more he keeps learning in the NFL. Now, more about their head coach, Arthur Smith. He came over from the Titans, where we learned a couple things about him. He likes tight ends, and he can run the ball. Jonnu Smith had 8 touchdowns in 2020, which is 5 more than Julio Jones. So don't be surprised if Kyle Pitts sees double-digit touchdowns in his rookie season under Arthur Smith. Now, although the Falcons are clearly missing a Derrick Henry type of runner, don't underestimate Arthur Smith's ability to scheme open runs. Now, with the power of Mike Davis and the versatility of Tyrell Patterson, both vets that they brought in during free agency, their run game could see tons of improvement from last year. Now, these are all pieces the Falcons already have on the roster. And if we look to the future, whatever they get for Julio Jones draft pick-wise is going to help them out a ton. They already have all of their draft picks for the next few years, except for a 2022 7th rounder, which they traded for Elise Smith to Buffalo. But if they're able to get a first for Julio, they could just load up on talent in the next couple of drafts. If they're looking to directly replace Julio Jones with an elite wide receiver, which you won't be able to do most likely in the next couple of drafts, look for them to target guys who are scheduled to be free agents in 2022. Devonta Adams and Allen Robinson. Both of these guys are in interesting situations. Allen Robinson seemingly just didn't find a great deal, so he re-signed with the Bears. And Devonta Adams could be on the outs if Aaron Rodgers is gone from Green Bay. Look for them to pursue either one of these two guys in next year's free agency. And with the Saints losing Drew Brees and the Panthers having an absolute question mark in Sam Darnold at quarterback, look for the Falcons to be a surprise team in the NFC South. I could see them easily making the wild card in the next couple of years. Even though the Buccaneers will probably still run the division, the Falcons have a lot of potential to be good, even without Julio Jones. Now, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time here on the Right Way Sports Network.